संसार सागरे मग्नं दीनं मां करुणानिधे कर्ममोह गृहीतांगं मामुद्धर भवार्णवात् श्रीमद् भागवताख्योऽयं प्रत्यक्ष कृष्ण एव हि स्वीकृतोऽसि मया नाथ मुक्त्यर्थं भवसागरे मनोरथो मदीयोऽयं सफल सर्वथा त्वया निर्विघ्नेनैव कर्तव्यो दासोऽहं तव केशव शुकरूपा प्रबोधज्ञा सर्वशास्त्र विशारदा एतत्कथा प्रकाशेन मदज्ञानं विनाशया वन्दे नन्दव्रजस्त्रीणां पादरेणुं अभीक्ष्णशः यासां हरिकथोद्गीतं पुनाति भुवनत्रयं वन्दे नन्दव्रजस्त्रीणां पादरेणुं अभीक्ष्णशः यासां हरिकथोद्गीतं पुनाति भुवनत्रयं. Any sadhana should be shanai shanai uparamit. Many of us become weight conscious. From tomorrow 5 kilometers you walk and 5 days you are in bed. Start with half a kilometer, then 1 kilometer, then 2 kilometers. If you want to do fasting, that also gradually. First month, once in 3 days, he eats fruits. Second month, once in 6 days, he has grass. Third month, once in 9 days, he drinks water. Fourth month, once in 12 days, he breathes in air. In the 5th month, he holds his breath and stands on 1 foot. Standing on 2 feet is difficult. Imagine standing on 1 foot. There is one wonderful woman, celebrated dancer of Tamil Nadu, my divine sister, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, who goes right round the stage and comes and stands in the middle of the stage and does not stagger or waver. Give her a big hand, please. When is the body steady? When the mind is steady, that's all. The mind can control the body, stand on 1 foot. That is what he was, Dhruva. And when he held his breath, the entire atmosphere is breathless. The gods in heaven go and tell Narayana, Narayana, this child, we don't know what has happened. Something has happened, Swami, something has happened. The Lord says, don't worry. The little child of Uttanapada has communed with me, Uttanapadir Mai Sangatatma, as if it's so simple, My master Dikshtar had his own simple jokes. He would say that the Lord called Naradji and sat before a dressing table and said, Narada, describe me. Naradji says, what's wrong with you, Swami? Please describe me as you describe me to Dhruva. Even if a kundala is missing, he will say, serious case of impersonation. Describe me as you said, Prasada, Vimukham Shashvata Prasanna, Vadarekshanam Sunasam, Subruvam Charutakolam, Surasundaram. The Lord dressed up exactly as the description was and went and stood before the child. The child is chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. At that time, the Lord wants to play with him. The Lord loves to play with his devotees. He deletes that picture in the heart of the child. That picture's gone. Where is he gone? Where? Imagine seeing the Lord. He can't talk. His lips are moving and the voice is not emanating. What does it mean? Symbolic, my dear listeners. Nobody can talk about the Lord but by His will, by His grace, by His kripa. A speaker is not a job which you get by Naukri.com. application. No. A speaker is chosen by the Lord. It's a mission where the mantle falls on the speaker. You understand? It is given by the Lord. Nobody can become a speaker of the Lord by going to school for 10 days or 20 days and become a speaker of the Lord. No. How do you expect a teacher of English to be doing the Bhagavatam, my dear listeners? What qualification do I have except grace? Grace is always more than what you qualify for. The little child now is wondering how to describe the Lord. The Lord says, you want to speak about me? He takes the Shankha and touches the cheek of the child. The Lord Shankha stands for Jnana Pradayaka. Jnana Pradayaka. First in the Gita is Shankhanada and then Gita Nada. Panchajanyam Rishikeshu Devadattam Dhananjaya. The moment the child is touched by the Lord, he begins to speak. My father's property, my mother's love, my popularity, my position, my legacy. No, 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 no. Once you see the Lord, it's transvaluation. The moment you see the Lord, your priorities change. You don't want anything which is secular. You, Master, who entered all my sense organs, making my eyes see, my ear listen, my legs walk, my hands feel, my skin feel, my hands move. You, propeller and impeller of all my sense organs, I bow down to you. My dear listeners, we don't know when paralysis can strike us. The most healthy man, he's holding his hand. He can't even hold a cup of tea, a cup of water. Healthy man. When it happens, you don't know what happens to him. He's totally helpless. This beautiful shloka tells you that it is Rishikesha who is the propeller and impeller of all our sense organs. It is he who keeps us healthy. I want just to take 2 minutes of yours. This shloka is memorable in my life because I've always prayed to the Lord that I should be with my parents on the last day of their departure. That was the only prayer that I had for the Lord. And one day, when my father had a fatal fall, he fell from a couple of stairs and hurt the back of his brain, the back of his skull. It was a deadly injury. He was bleeding profusely and he lost his speech. A great speaker, Dr. Radhakrishnan's student, lost his power to speak. And he was lying in bed, 3 doctors attending to him, and they told me, ma'am, he's lost his speech. I said, no, Krishna, no. This is the man who bought me my first copy of the Gita. This is the man who made me read the Valmiki Ramayana, the Bhagavata, and the Mahabharata. This is the man who made me learn Sanskrit in school and college. He cannot die without your names on his lips, my Krishna. I said, Appa, please chant one shloka, Appa, one shloka. You won't believe. Suddenly he folded his hands as if listening to which shloka. I said, that shloka of Dhruva, Appa, that shloka of Dhruva. Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam. My dear listeners, his speech came back to him and he chanted the whole shloka. Very difficult shloka. Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam. Sanjeevayat akila shakti dharaswadhamna anyam tahatta charana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Then I said, Appa, one shloka from the Gita, Appa, one shloka from the Gita. Generally he would quote a Jnana shloka and I would quote a Bhakti shloka, and I said, Ananya Chintayanto Mam, Appa, just chant one shloka, Ananya Chintayanto Mam. He chanted Ananya Chintayanto Mam, Ye Janah Paryupasate, Tesham Nityavi Yuktaram Yogakshimam Bahamyam. I said, thank you, Narayana, thank you. I have done my duty by my father because he taught me how to pray, and I taught him how to pray at the last moment of his life. My dear listeners, this is the shloka that brought back a dumb man to speaking. You understand? I chanted this shloka for your good health. The little child goes back to become the king of his own country, bows down to his stepmother who was the main reason for sending him to the forest. Towards the end of his life, he finds that his mother is taken to the heavens above him, and he also reaches He also reaches at the age of 5, he gave up. Yaha panchavarsho jananim tvam vihaya matu sapatnya vachasa bhinna karmarma. He is the one who gave up his mother. He gave up the toys of the little play school area. At 5, he reached you and your feet, Narayana. May that child's great, lovely life bring fame to us, name to us, bhakti to us, and make us devout descendants of the beautiful child. The third canto of the Bhagavatam starts with the question, why was Vidura dismissed from the court? When a man speaks the truth, he becomes unpopular. When a man tells you what is dharma, he becomes unpopular. Vidura was one of those ideal ministers, prime minister who would never prevaricate, a prime minister who would never say the wrong thing, a prime minister who could tell the king where he was going wrong. And that is why he became unpopular. Vidura is dismissed from the court because one day Dhritarashtra asks him, Vidura, I don't have peace of mind. I cannot sleep at night. I don't have peace of mind during the day. Vidura said, you'll never sleep at night. You will never have peace of mind. Why are you cursing me, Vidura? I'm not cursing you. I'm telling you this is the law of ethics. When you cheat somebody, the Lord will not allow you to sleep. My schoolroom Shakespeare tells me if Macbeth had murdered sleep, Glamis shall sleep no more. When you have hurt somebody, you cannot be in peace. You cannot live in peace. You have taken away the property of your brother and you have not given it to his children. You cannot sleep in peace. According to Artha Shastra, everything is a Shastra for us, my dear listeners. I told you, nothing in India is secular. Everything is spiritual. Our economics is spiritual. Artha is a Shastra for us. Artha Shastra says you can have personal immorality. You understand? Even that God can forgive. But if you embezzle somebody else's money, if you take it out of the public fund, then you will never be redeemed. You have taken away the property of your brother. If your brother has gone away into the other world and his children are under your care, his property is under your trust, please give it back to the children. If you don't do that, my dear listeners, society will curse you, God will curse you, the soul of your brother will curse you. Here is Vidura explaining again and again, but he won't listen. Vidura, no, I would like some other way of finding peace. There is one more way. Dismiss Duryodhana. Send him out of the kingdom. What do you mean? He is a serpent. If you look after a serpent and give it payasam, it is not going to become sweet. It's going to only add poison to itself. If you love a man like Duryodhana, you're only creating a bigger terrorist in the family. That is all that is going to be. The worst antisocial person is Duryodhana. Remove him, he says. If you ask me to be removed, Duryodhana says, I remove you. Sometimes it happens in corporate. Some nephew, some brother-in-law, some sister-in-law enters your family and you have to remove your CEO. It happens. Without any compunction, you do that. That is how Vidura is removed. And Vidura goes to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is one place where all bhaktas go. Kalena tavat yamunamupetya tatrodhavam bhagavatam dadarsha. What is Vrindavan? One of the famous songs of Vrindavan says, Kalena tavat yamunamupetya tatrodhavam bhagavatam dadarsha savasudevanucharam prashantam brihaspate praktanayam pratitam alingya gadham pranahena bhadram swanama prachat bhagavat prajanam. He met another Krishna Bhakta there. When you go to Vrindavan, you meet only Krishna Bhaktas. When you go to Vrindavan, you meet only Krishna Bhaktas. And he met this great man called Uddhava. Two great men we are meeting. Unfortunately, one is a dismissed prime minister, the other is a desperate prime minister. Both of them meet each other and hug. There's a book on hugs. People think a hug is a physical act. No, my dear listeners. Why do you enjoy hugging? Very dispassionately I speak, whether man hugs woman or mother hugs child or brother hugs brother, friend hugs friend, what are you really experiencing the joy? Because the Jivatma here is touching the Paramatma there. That is why we are happy, you understand? We don't realize. We don't realize there's a spiritual meaning behind the hug. Alingya Gadham, one Krishna Bhakta is hugging another Krishna Bhakta, and both of them are discussing only Krishna. When Bhaktas meet, they only talk about Krishna, not politics. Who are these two Bhaktas? Uddhava was 5-year-old when he was doing puja. And how would he do puja? Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha. His mother called him for breakfast. Nandagopa Kumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Oh no, this is the child who continues to do puja at 5. The modern mother, if she finds the child is doing puja or reciting Gita, she takes the child to the psychiatrist and says, Doctor, something is wrong with my child. At 5 he is praying. My dear listeners, you do not know the samskara of your child. You don't know the birth's past of your child. You don't know what your child was in his past birth. Allow the child to go the way he wants. Allow him to grow the way he wants. He may be an artist. He may be a mystic. He may be a God lover. He may be a singer. Don't throttle his real, genuine emotion. That is how the great Bhakta called Uddhava came up. The other one is known as Vidura. Vidura one day welcomed the Lord. My Lord was walking into the Darbar. He was walking into Hastinapura, going towards the Darbar of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. I heard, I think it was from Kripanandan Varyarji, that there is something special about Krishnan Tud. The ambassador that Shri Krishna was, the most resplendent ambassador. He was walking towards the Darbar. Everybody is calling him, come home, come to my palace. Duryodhana says, lunch is ready, you can have it. The Lord looks at him and says, neither is there a calamity nor am I hungry. He doesn't want to eat in the house of Duryodhana, who is the enemy of the dear Pandavas. It is then that we realize the difference between other people's invitation and Vidura's. Vidura says, come to your house. My master Dikshtar would move us to tears. Krishna said, when did my mother buy property in Hastinapura? And Vidura must have answered, Isha Vatsamidam Sarvam. The whole world belongs to you, Krishna. All the billionaires of the world are living on the crumbs that are thrown from your table, Master. They are living. The Bill Gates and the Warren Buffetts are only living on the crumbs, the leftover of the Lord's table. Please remember, He is the richest of the richest. When Krishna enters the house of Vidura, Vidura is so happy. He doesn't know what to do. When a VIP comes home, he asks for tea, you give coffee. He asks for buttermilk, you give juice. You don't know what you're doing. You're totally excited. You are excited and your servants are more excited. Here is Vidura trying to peel a banana, but he's looking at the beautiful face of the Lord, totally disturbing. That beauty of the Lord is something that disturbs everyone. I tell Krishna and Rama, how beautiful you are. My Lord Sri Rama stole the heart of men. Imagine what happened to women. Pumsam Mohana Rupaya Punya Shlokaya Mangalam. And he is the Cupid of Cupids. He is the handsome of handsome. Sakshan Manmatha Manmataha. Vidura is looking at him. I'm giving him banana skin. I'm not giving him a plantain. Oh God, Aparadham, my master, Aparadham. Sacrilegious, my Lord, sacrilegious. The Lord says, don't worry, Vidura. The banana skin was full of your bhakti. That is why it was so sweet and I was eating it. Only Krishna can eat banana skin. Only he can tell his bhakta how overwhelmed he is. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Don't forget that. Don't forget the best part of the recipe. He doesn't want patram pushpam phalam toyam. He wants bhakti. Unless the spice of bhakti is added, he doesn't accept it. That is Vidura and that is Uddhava. Both of them discuss the Lord's glories. And finally you have Uddhava telling Vidura, please go and listen to the rest of the Bhagavatam from Maitreya. Maitreya is a Brahmin, a great rishi, full of knowledge. For your information, if you're new to the Bhagavatam, first let me clarify the biggest doubt in the mind of people, the difference between Bhagavata and Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is an 18-chapter, 700-odd sermon on the battlefield given by Krishna to Arjuna in the Mahabharata. Bhagavata Mahapurana is one of the crown jewels of the Puranas, containing the avatars of the Lord, containing 18,000 verses, 12 cantos. And out of that, the 10th canto has 90 chapters of Krishna, by Krishna, for Krishna. That is the difference between Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. People confuse me by calling it Bhagavad Gita. I'm totally zapped. Don't please confuse these two great works. One is the sermon by Krishna, one is a book on Krishna. This is the Bhagavatam that we are reading. And in the Bhagavatam we are told there are several speakers, several listeners. First Suta speaks and you have Shaunakadi Rishis listening. Then you have Shukadeva speaking, Parikshit listening. Then you have Vidura listening and Uddhava speaking. Then you have Maitreya speaking and Vidura listening. In between you have Narada speaking and Yudhishthira listening. After some time you have Shukadeva speaking and then Parikshit listening. After Parikshit is gone, before that Shukadeva is gone, you have again Suta speaking and Shaunaka listening. The same history called Bhagavata is told by different people to different people. That is all. But the history is the same. So when you open the Bhagavatam, don't get confused. The story continues. The history of Lord Narayana continues. As soon as you meet someone who is great, someone who is going to give you knowledge, you have to bow down. The great one called Vidura is asking Maitreya, you are good people, great people, preachers of the Lord. You come to remove the unhappiness in the life of people. You come to give the history of the Lord. Janasya Krishnat, Vimukhasya Daivat, Adharmashilasya, Sudukhitasya, Anugraha eva charanti nunam, Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. The great people who come, the saints of the world, they don't come to work out their karma. They come to make you happy. They come to make the godless people Godward. They want to make the unhappy people happy. That is why they come to spread joy. Maitreya is happy and he starts telling the great one called Vidura. The whole world was being created by Brahmaji. Brahmaji created the world, but he was not happy until he created the first man and the first woman. They are the ones who became the primordial couple, Manu and Shatarupa. Akhandanji Maharaj says Manu means Manana Shakti, Jnana. Shatarupa is Bhakti. When Jnana and Bhakti come together, the world comes into being. Both these find that the world is sinking into the mud, into the mire. And they go to the Lord, their father, Brahma, and tell him, Swami, Pita, we find that our world is now sinking into the mire. We don't know what to do. He goes into deep meditation and he has the vision of the Lord Varaha Swami emanating from the Jnanendriya called the nose. He comes as a small Varaha, Boar, B-O-A-R. He comes as a Varaha and stands before him as a huge Varaha. The small one became the large one and so huge that people said, Jai Ho Bhagwan Ki, may the Lord Varaha protect. Children asked Akhandanji Maharaj, why should Narayana take a boar's incarnation? He said, when the world is sinking into the mire, neither the lion nor the elephant will go. Only a Varaha can go. It is Yajna Swarupa. The form was wild, but the eyes were mild. If you go to Bhuvaraha Swami in Tirupati, he sits beautifully along with his mother, with the Devi there, the consort who is Bhu. Very beautiful concept. The whole world is the consort of the Lord. If you have real estate problems, if you have property dispute, if you're looking out for some property, if you want to settle all that, please go to Bhuvaraha Swami. overnight you'll find the miracle happening. There is no doubt about it. Now resurrects the world, brings the earth from the mire. He is the one who in this incarnation is going to kill that antisocial person called Hiranyaksha.